WTDG Toledo, Bridges, with your host, Donnie Miller, connecting our community with information about issues and opportunities.
Hey, good Sunday morning and welcome to Bridges. It's always so good to hang out with you on these Sundays. Today we have a particularly interesting show. You need to know, I mean, we don't talk about it enough, what great things our community is doing for our young folks. I have this amazing young woman named Alexis Smith that I want to introduce you to. You will be so impressed with this young lady. I met her this morning and I am just overwhelmed with who she's turning out to be. But before we introduce you to Alexis, I'd like to introduce you to Daphne Durden Willis, who is the Director of Career Technology at Toledo Public Schools. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about careers in technology. This is the amazing Alexis Smith, who is a graduate. Oh, look, you're blushing. Who is a graduate of TTA, and we are so happy to have you with us this morning. And the father of this amazing young woman is here with us as well. This is Major Smith Jr. I want to tell you that Alexis graduated third in her class at TTA. Yay! In a class where the top 3 graduates were all women in a school that is predominantly male.
Yes.
You go, girl.
Thank you.
That is really, you must be so proud of yourself.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience, and it was a very rigorous curriculum, but you know, having so little girls there actually was sort of a plus because we were able to kind of come together and build a family and a support system within ourselves. So
wow.
It was an amazing experience.
All right, so who put that bow tie on for you this morning? Is that a clip-on or a real bow tie?
It's actually a real bow tie, but it can be turned into a clip-on, so I just did that this morning.
I love it. I love that you were doing you today.
Thank you. I love bow ties. A collection of them at home.
At home?
So, yes.
Those are great. So you must be just sighing, like big sighs of relief, and because you have 2 kids, don't you, that were there?
Yes, I had my older son graduated previously from TTA about 2 years prior to her graduation. So I'm very proud to have those come through a very prestigious school.
I know, I don't think people really get that. I don't think they know that this is a school that has been nationally recognized.
Yes.
But you know what, we're going to make sure you find out about this school this morning. Daphne, give us just an overview about this program and what goes on, what the opportunities are.
Well, first I want to say thank you for having us here today to
anytime.
talk about the great things that Career Technology is doing for our students. Because I often hear, you know, Toledo Technology Academy, aviation, and all of the different things that we offer within Toledo Public Schools, I didn't know that even existed.
Right.
And so it's really good to have this opportunity to talk about the good things that we have and that we're offering within the Career Technology Department.
Well, you can pay me later. That's
okay. Okay. So thank you for this format.
You are so welcome.
And Dr. Durant, when he transitioned as the superintendent for Toledo Public Schools, and it's been now, this is the 2nd year, he came in and the first thing he did is he wanted everyone to know and be aware of the mission and vision for the district. And some of the kids now, I mean, it's amazing to watch them, and they can recite verbatim what the mission is. But for me, as the Career Technology Director and looking at things and how it applies to my department, the first thing that I saw was college and career ready graduates. And I thought, perfect. We have someone in leadership that is going to give us the support that we need to push this thing forward, because we know that it's good things for kids, but it's just making sure that we have that support to do the things that we need to do. And he came in with that mission and vision in mind. And so we've been moving forward, and he's been talking to people in the community and the business community, and he's been doing speeches at churches and Rotary clubs and Chamber of Commerce to do all that he can to make sure that people are aware of the good things that Career Technology is doing.
And we want to make sure that we support him in that effort today, because this is a great way to move our graduates quickly into those fields that are the emerging fields moving forward, and where we find
fewer people going than more people going. So what exactly is the context of the program there? What are you trying to do?
We have, and the main part of it that we want people to understand is that, and we have our logo, Education That Works. We're career technology. We're giving students an option, career, college, or both. And I have to go back to what was. You kind of have to know your history to move forward. But parents, community members kind of look at career technology as the vocational education of old. And that stigma is hard to overcome.
Do you think it's a stigma?
Yeah, there is. There is. And many from our day and Mr. Smith's day saw vocational education as a track for those students. And that track, that stigma, was that those particular students aren't going to go to college.
Right.
They are not prepared,
I
or
see.
they can't handle a college preparatory curriculum. And so because of that, we're going to place them here. So that stigma is very hard to overcome. And so trying to get the message out that that's the vocational education of old, career technology today is definitely the pipeline to workforce development, and we have to see it in that way.
Right.
And realize that there's more than one pathway to prosperity.
Absolutely. When the kids graduate from TTA, are they able to go to work then in their particular
Most
discipline? Lex is
definitely.
nodding her head.
Absolutely. They have an option. Most of those students, industry, they're so involved and ingrained in what they're doing. They're there at the table. They're making sure throughout that curriculum that things are being met by providing the internships, providing them the internships, the projects that they may give to the students. They're ingrained in what they're doing.
Which allows them.
They're very much involved, and so they're like, as soon as they graduate,
We're
want
ready.
to, yeah, we
We're
want to
ready.
hire them.
That's your experience, Lex?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially piggybacking off what you said with the internships. My senior year, actually our senior year, we're required to have an internship in May, and you know, we do it for the entire month. I was privileged enough to go ahead and do my internship at General Motors for the year. And I would do my morning classes, you know, the core classes of math, science, English, and social studies. And then in the afternoon, I would go over and work on an actual project that they used to better their company. And so in our project, we had to come up with a system that they could use to help route their global supply chain traffic going on in the plant. So it was a real world problem that we had to solve and come up with a system for. So we're not just learning it or learning to the test, but we're actually learning to later implement it in something real and take on a task that could potentially better a company. And so they were very pleased with the product that we were able to produce to them, and there was actually talk of, you know, possibly hiring when we got into college.
Really?
And everything. Yes, we've actually had a student in the past get hired on this past year because they were so impressed with his performance when he did do the internship. So it's a very, very uncommon but very fortunate thing to have in the school, because it helps us to transition into the real world.
Did we tell them what your specialty is and what your focus is? I don't think we did.
No,
Let's.
my focus is to go into biomedical engineering, so I'm going to UT in the fall to start in the bioengineering school. And right now I'm actually working the Summer Youth Employment Program with ProMedica and in inpatient pharmacy. So I am getting some exposure to the medical world early, and I think with my achievements and all the things that I have on my resume, it just helped, you know, open that door even, you know, further. So it was amazing, and I love the experience I'm getting at ProMedica. it's one thing to actually talk about it and research it, but to be in it and doing it, it's totally different.
Totally different. Let's see if we can get your dad to stop smiling so hard for a second over here. You think you could talk to me for a minute and stop smiling a little so much?
I'll see what I can do.
All right, I'd appreciate that. We'd all appreciate that. So clearly you are happy about this.
Yes, I am, because when I enrolled her in Toledo Technology Academy, I actually had no idea that she was interested in going. I enrolled her older brother there, and it was a long search and decision. I want them to go to the best schools they can possibly go to. We actually were commuting back and forth to Detroit. Our church had its own Christian academy, in which my wife was a teacher and principal there. Well, we were we were tackling two houses, and one in Detroit and one here in Toledo, and we got to be a little bit of a too much on the family and the strain. So we moved the family back down here to Toledo, and one of the decisions I wanted to make is I wanted them to have the best education possible. And of course, the first thing you look through is parochial schools. But when I discovered the Toledo Technology Academy, I knew that was the best thing for them. And my son went through. I actually enrolled at the time Alexis in Grove Patterson, which is another academy,
sure.
Excellent school. And she actually visited Toledo Technology Academy. It was served sort of like a feeder school at the time into Toledo Technology Academy. And a lot of the kids from the Grove Patterson would transfer into Toledo Technology Academy. And when she visited, she liked what she saw. She was interested. At being a female, I didn't think she would have any interest of going there. But she got there, and she performed well. I mean, she was straight A's.
Good decision.
It was a very good decision. I always say, I try to promote this school because the school it's an open door school. They encourage parent involvement. I was actually served as the vice president of the parent partner group with the old PTA, which is now PTO. And then later president when the previous president student graduated, and I had my daughter was still remained, so I ended up being the president for 3 years. So, and the school actually depends heavily on parent involvement, and we do because we host things like the Lego League, and we bake sales, we do fundraisers.
So all of those things to support the kids,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I want to ask you a little bit more about that. So would you hold that
Sure.
thought? We need to go away for just a second, all right? We'll be right back, though. Honestly, we will be right back. We hope you join us.